That is my CEO day. I haven't posted much today on Instagram. It's coming. It's coming. After this, I'm gonna do my Q&A. I know you guys posted a ton of questions in the chat, so we'll get to that. But for now, before we do that, it's time to bring in big time friend of the channel. We're gonna answer your questions. So pop them below. Use the question box. And we'll get through as many as we can. Try to bring you value. Oh, wow. Dude, that is crazy.
What's that? Very loud?
It's so noisy.
Really?
Yeah, okay, I gotta turn you down.
Turn me down. Is it the wind? Is the wind bad?
It's hit or miss.
Okay, I need to find a quiet place then. I got lost in the run and I didn't make it home in time.
All right,
So,
well,
here we are.
If Mark is blowing out your ears, ladies and gentlemen, then happy Friday to you. That's his way of saying he loves you.
Let's go.
Okay, so let me put in a little thing here. Pop your questions below. Oh, I heard a bird. That's nice.
Yeah. I'm in the middle
of questions below.
I'm in the middle of a big field.
All right. Okay. How do I pin this? Hold on. Pin comment. There we go. Haha! It's happening. All right. So this is our bonus episode of the Something to Prove podcast. If you guys want to check out our full episodes, go to wherever. Where are they going, Mark?
They can just look up Something to Prove podcast or search Evan's name in podcast and they'll be able to find it.
Search my name. How about Mark Jager?
Sure, they can search my name and then podcast as well. That's fine.
All right, and you'll find it. So this is a bonus episode where we answer your questions live. Drew's saying hashtag gone with the wind.
Oh, is it really that bad?
It's better than when you first joined on. It's
okay.
Better than when you first joined on. So
maybe I need to put it under my shirt or something like that, like old school.
Gone with the wind.
Is that terrible right now, or is it okay?
No, it's okay. Now it's okay.
Okay. I'll just hold it like this randomly.
Yeah. Well, it's not randomly. It's with a lot of
purpose.
Of
with purpose.
Exactly.
There you go.
Okay. So let's get to your questions. Pop them below. We'll do as many as we can. John asking, I'm becoming a founder soon.
So if you're about to start anything new, you're going to probably feel insecure about it. You're probably not going to feel like you're ready, and you'll never be ready. And so you'll have a likelihood to waste a lot of time overthinking everything, trying to make it perfect. And it takes typically many years of experience to realize that even if you think it's perfect, it's not. You're going to waste all this time. You're going to waste all this energy. You're going to launch it. You're going to learn a bunch of new things. You're going to change it right away. So if you're a new founder, or if you're new to anything, the best thing you can do is start, pay attention, don't get defensive, listen to the feedback, make it better, and just keep iterating.
I like that. I would focus on the progress then, just to jump off of Mark's point. Focus on the progress you're making, right? You get started and you focus on, are you getting better, instead of trying to be perfect all the time from the get. I would say my point would be add in customers. Like, how are you going to find customers? What's your path to get to monetization? A lot of people start a business with big ambitions and big goals and lofty dreams, and that's amazing, and that keeps you going forward. But then they end up running out of money and never actually be able to make it happen. So who are your customers going to be, and how do they help you get to eventually where you want to go? A lot of people have no idea. A lot of people, well, when I launch my app and I have 1 million downloads, then I'll be profitable.
Right.
And you never get there, right? You launch it and then 2 people get it, and then you never build a business. So think about, how am I going to build a business so that this can sustain me? And step 1 may not be ultimately where you want to go, but it's along the path and along your journey. A lot of entrepreneurs never. It's why in Built to Serve, the last section is about monetization. Like, how do you make money? Because it's not number 1, but again, it has to be. Okay, let me hold it up. I gotta sign some more books. We got a whole chunk of books here that I need to sign. So focus on customers and figuring how you're going to make that first startup capital so that you can afford to keep going. Okay, next. Dragon Roll 5. Look at that.
Ooh,
I have a few ideas I'm interested in, but I can't seem to focus on one thing. How do I choose and focus on one thing?
Are they really different, or is there a lot of overlap? Because, a lot of us run into problems where we make things too complicated. I always like to simplify things. But if you just can't pick one, I mean, my answer wants to be two things. Just pick something and just start doing it if you're excited about it until you're not, and then move on to the next thing. Or look for the common elements, bring them together, and focus on that thing. You know, Evan and I have a mutual friend who, Bailey, who we've known for many, many, many years. And I went out for coffee with this friend, and she just said, you know, I'm so tired of having four things on the go and feeling scattered. I just want to pick one thing. And I'm like, Bailey, I've known you for 10 years, and the magic of you is that you can juggle four things at once. I've never known you to just do one thing. So, like, that is your magic. The magic is you can do these four things, you can bring them all together, you can juggle them, you can keep them going. Sure, it'd be great if you could focus on one. You haven't done that in 10 years, so why not just embrace who you are and what you can do and bring them together?
And just to add to that, I would say, instead of trying to run like 3 or 4 different companies, bring them together to run one business that
Yes.
they're all combined in, right? When people hear that, say, oh, I've got 4 different ideas, great, I'm going to launch 4 different businesses at the same time. All of them are likely going to crash and burn. You need to figure out what is the overlap that you can do these 4 things at the same time inside of one business. Embrace the genius of the end, right? Instead of thinking this or this or this or this, how are you going to be what the heck was that? It's like
a dog leash.
That was a dog? It sounded like
a dog leash. A dog leash.
Oh, it sounded like a frog going ribbit or something.
And Escalade playing music.
Wow.
At the same time.
Wow.
Anyway.
The attention to care on our podcast is.
Hey, listen, man, you can't be perfect. Like, I couldn't make it back in time for my run, so I'm sorry.
Oh, I couldn't. I chose not to.
Listen, dude, I ran as fast and as hard as I could. I ran for 11 minutes straight, as fast as I could until the very last minute. So I'm about a block away.
All right.
Hold on, just playing off of what this person said. You know, there's this rapper called Propaganda that I like, and I've heard him speak about the fact that he's a spoken word poet, he's a speaker, and he's a rapper. And so some people know him for being a speaker, some people know him for being a poet, some people know him for being a rapper. And he could never pick one of them because he feels like each one of those things makes him better in the other area. And so he has one business, he does 3 things, he has 3 different camps of people who know him for different things, but he needs all 3 things to be able to excel in any of the other areas. He sees them all as one thing. No one else in the world sees them as one thing.
And then just start.
Yes, that's the most important thing. Start.
Don't suffer from Drageritis.
Exactly.
That we talked about on our last episode yesterday. Go and start. All right. Shreya. Wow, I probably destroyed that. I apologize. What is your greatest advice to teenagers?
Don't. Gosh, all I can give you is the advice that I wish that I had when I was younger, which was, enjoy the moment a bit. I was so focused on always the future. I was so focused on what was next.
You sound like such an old man. You sound like such an old man right now. Boomer. Okay, Boomer Jager.
I can't help it. But
enjoy the moment.
But the honest truth is when you're 16, 17, 18, you have the most amount of freedom with the least amount of responsibility, and you don't even realize it. So 1, you have a tremendous amount of time that you could apply to your passions. Don't waste all your time playing video games all the time. 2,
unless you want to be a pro gamer.
then that's your passion. That's fine. But a lot of people have dreams about hustling or being an entrepreneur or getting better at software or design or starting this or starting that or going off to whatever's next. And they miss out on the fact that they're only in class. Like right now, they're not in class at all. But, you're in class, 24 or 30 hours a week. You have all of this time that you could apply to any number one of your passions. So just try a bunch of things. Don't think about what you're going to do later so much. Just use your time wisely when you have it. Because old people like me are jealous of the amount of freedom and time that you have.
I remember being in university, so I was at University of Toronto, and they had some guy come back, some alumni come back and talk to the class. And that was basically his message. It's like, now's the time. Like, I'm jealous of you guys. I'm married. Once you get married and you have kids, and just enjoy your life right now. And it felt like, man, this guy feels so old. It's like, what kind of message is that? Go enjoy your life now. Come on. Marriage is amazing. Having kids is amazing.
I'm not
Jesus
saying
Christ.
that it's not.
Old ass complainers.
What I'm saying is I wish I took more advantage of the free time I had because I didn't realize that I had all that free time. I thought I was busy. And when you get older, you realize what busy really is.
Yeah, but see, that message doesn't land. Like, yes, you're right. But imagine Mark Drager as a 16-year-old, where then you go back and talk to Mark Drager and say, listen, you think you're busy and you should be grateful for what you have. And Mark
Dude,
Drager,
I have this message.
Like,
I have this message with friends. I had a friend who went, I don't have any time to do anything. And I said, I want you to keep track, just for a day or two. Keep track of all the things you do and how you do it.
Sound like such an old man.
And then, dude, she looked at it and she was like, oh, I just realized I spent an hour and 15 minutes in one day playing games on my cell phone. I'm like, yeah, you're not really that busy. You got lots of free time.
Oh, wow. Nina just
Thank
yelled
you.
happy anniversary. It's past, though. It was yesterday.
Yeah, we had an amazing day. Thank you, Nina.
Anyway, I would say explore, taste, test, try. You got an idea?
Don't
Go
pick a
do
lane
something about
too
it.
quickly, you're saying.
What?
Don't pick a lane too quickly.
Taste. Like, you're 14, 15, 16. Your parents want you to do something. The people around you want you to do something. You're not going to live the life your parents had. It's just not going to happen. You're going to want to do something totally different. But you don't have exposure to enough things yet. So taste, test, try. Start that business. Create a YouTube channel. Read those books, right? Try more things until you find the thing that you want to do, right? It's like, what's your favorite food? I don't know. I haven't tried enough things yet. You've only tried hot dogs and pizza and pasta. Great. You got to go explore until you find the thing.
This is basically the answer I was saying.
Yeah, it is, but
yourself.
it's better. It's like, but you're talking about it in a way that doesn't connect. It's like, when you get old, like me, it's like...
Dude, I have a 13-year-old daughter. We have these conversations.
Great. The advice at the end, the second half was good. The lead up is not helpful.
It was garbage. Total garbage.
Okay, let's see. What do we got? Who else? Can you recommend some self-development books?
Well,
Built to Serve. Hey,
Built to
Nina.
Serve by Carmichael.
Nina's yelling, Built to Serve. Yes, that's a great book. Did I sign this one yet? No, I gotta sign this. I got a stack of books.
Here's a question.
I gotta
for you,
sign
Evan.
all these books are sold that I need to sign and send out.
Would you recommend people start with Built to Serve or start with Your One Word?
You like starting with your one word, right? That's what you give to everybody?
I do that because it's yes, I do that for part of our brand strategy because it helps prime the conversations we're going to have. And I have them really focus on the first page. The first section is 77 pages, I think. So I have them focus on the first section. But you know, I don't have copies of Built to Serve to give away yet, so you know, well, maybe I'll recommend that next. I don't know. Jesus, but would you recommend one over the other? I think people who are starting?
I think, and listen, between my two books or between any personal development books?
No, between your two books. Between your two books.
No,
if I had to pick up an answer, give me the answer,
Christ.
Evan. Come on, Evan. Let's go.
It depends on what you're struggling with, what you need clarity on. Between my two books or any other personal development book, what are you struggling with right now? I think Your One Word takes a deep dive into figuring out your most important core value. I touch on it in Built to Serve, but if you want to go deeper, somebody DM me saying, hey, I just finished Built to Serve. Should I now read Your One Word because I want to dive deeper into my core value? Like, yeah. I don't know if Nick is still in the chat. Nick runs a Instagram account called Book Thinkers, and he read Your One Word 3 years ago and now read Built to Serve and realized a lot of the messages, he's more ready for it now than he was before. Right? You could read the same book a year later and it hits you in a different way because you've grown and you're a different person. I mean, that you should if you're into personal development. So whether it's any of my two books or Think and Grow Rich or any Tony Robbins book or whatever, it's like, what are you trying to get out of it? What are you trying to learn? I think people quit too late on books. I think people are so worried about finding the perfect book and that you're going to waste your time reading the wrong book. And so you have to be the perfect next book that you're going to read because when you pick it up, you're going to have to finish it. Quit early. Pick up a book, read the first 4 pages. If it's not speaking to your soul, you give it to somebody else. You put it back on the library shelf, right?
Yeah, you leave it on a park bench.
You leave it on the park bench. If you're buying online through Amazon, almost every book has the peek inside thing, right? Go peek inside. Peek inside Built to Serve. If it doesn't speak to you, great, move on. Go find something else, right? People need to quit on books a lot faster. So that's
But
what I would
not
do.
quitting on Built to Serve. Get your copy today.
Well, I think it's a great book. But listen, if it's not speaking to you right now, I don't want people buying something that doesn't, that doesn't speak to them. But listen, I think it's a great book.
So,
All right.
So what's the book? Well, hold on. What's the book that had the biggest impact on your life?
That wasn't a question. What's the book? Are we flipping this now? We're
Well,
saying
it was what book would you recommend? I think you would recommend a book that had the biggest impact on your life, no?
no. I would recommend the book. It's like,
You'd
who should
recommend
I
any
marry?
book. Great.
So somebody asked me, who should I marry? Oh, you should go find an awesome Chinese woman. Like, that doesn't necessarily make sense for everybody.
You're right? It doesn't.
Right? Should I get a cat or a dog? Well, I would say dog. Mark would say nothing, and somebody else would say cat. Right? It's like, it's the same thing. For what book should I read? It depends. What are you going through? What do you need right now in your life?
Exactly.
What song should I listen to? I don't know. What are you missing right now? Right?
Wild Horses.
It's a good song. It's still on my playlist. It's still on my playlist. Wild Horses is a good one. Who's it by,
Yes.
Mark? I forget.
By Bishop. I don't know if Bishop's her first name or her last name. It's Biggs Bishop, Biggs, something like that.
Okay. Next question. Where are the Beats headphones, Mark? Right? Mark's having a
Who asked
bad
that
day.
question?
That's what's happening. Right now.
So here's what happened. Last Friday, right before our live, my kids were outside playing. And when I went outside for my run, I noticed that they were sitting on the back of my pickup truck, swinging their feet. And when they were swinging their feet, they scratched up really, really badly the back of my pickup truck. And I was really upset with them about that. And I was about to go for a run with my headphones on, and I came inside and I pulled them off. And as I pulled them off, I broke them.
Again?
This is the new pair. The new pair I broke.
That's what I'm saying. Again, like, you break headphones like crazy.
They lasted a year. Both of them. The first one lasted 6 months. This one lasted a year. I now know how to Gorilla Glue them. But
So you gotta
anyway,
get another pair. It's part of your brand is wearing the Beats. People are upset that you're not wearing the Beats headphones.
well, so I use these white ones for running and for podcasting because they have a better microphone on them. But the Beats have been fixed. So that's the good news, everyone.
But the Beats, it's meant to be a headphone. It's not meant to be a microphone.
There is a microphone in it. It's just terrible.
Yeah. That
Yes.
looks awesome.
So
For the podcast, we need to get you an actual microphone. You need a real microphone, not an Apple headset microphone.
I have a real microphone. It's just I'm missing one cable. When I get one more cable, all will be good. All will be right with the world.
Pick up the cable. Let's go. Okay, let's go.
I've ordered it.
Hey, Evan, it's Antoine. I think during this quarantine, we have an opportunity to help creators produce content. How would you? Then it gets cut off because it was too long.
Oh no.
Do we? Antoine, write it back in. Write it. Give us what you want to say. Next, everybody writing in. Listen. We don't need to know your name. You don't need to say hi, Evan. Get to the meat. Because it gets cut off after 3 lines, and then we can't give you the value, hopefully, that you need. Okay, next. Diamond Lifestyle Management. Hi, Evan. I want to sell very high-end, soft furnishings. Can I do this as a startup entrepreneur?
You can do anything that you believe you can do as a startup entrepreneur.
Oh, snap.
I don't understand why you wouldn't be able to. What you need retail space, I guess you figure it out. You can sell it online. You need photography. You need access to the furnishings. So you find someone to give it to you. You want to design it yourself. You design it yourself. I mean, nothing's easy. Like, you can do anything that you think you can do. And as Evan says, you won't do anything that you don't think you can do.
Yeah, there's lots of ways to do this. You just have to be resourceful. You got to be resourceful. Like, nobody's coming to invest $4 million in your business so you can go buy up all of these luxury, high-end, soft furnishings and start your business, right? So you find a smaller way to get started. there's lots of ways to do it, but the biggest hurdle for you is just the mindset. Like, you don't need our permission to go off and do this. You give yourself permission to live your life and chase your dreams. Let's go. All right. I want to start a podcast, but then I also want to start a YouTube, but I feel lost to do. I feel lost.
Do I teach English or do I make pranks?
Oh, you can read it too. How come you couldn't read them before?
I guess I updated my IG.
Wow. Okay, great, Mark. There you go. So I want to start a podcast, but then I also want to start a YouTube, but I feel lost. Do I teach English or do I make pranks?
Pranks. Listen, you can start a YouTube channel and do a podcast, because your podcast can be what's on your YouTube channel. You want to teach English? You can do that through the podcast. You can do it the other way. Hey, you want to be the English teacher who teaches English through fun pranks and makes it actually entertaining? Well, maybe you'll get more viewers and people will actually want to learn English through entertainment now. So, I mean, pick something and start doing it. You're never going to know. You're never going to be able to look back and go, oh, I should have gone left when I went right. Just pick one, start doing it. When you no longer want to do it, move on to the next thing.
Yeah, there's just way too much thinking here. Can a podcast work? Yep. Can a YouTube channel work? Uh-huh. Can teaching English work? Absolutely. And can doing pranks work? 1,000%. They can all work. What's going to work for you? I don't know. How about you go off and start and try it, right? Like, the only thing you're missing is momentum. Do it. There's too much thinking. There's too much thinking. Today, you should start all 4 of them and see what happens. You can make a video super quick. You can start a podcast. You can teach somebody English, and you can go pull a prank, ideally on Mr. Mark Drager. You can make it all happen. That's entertaining content. You can pretend to teach Mark English.
We know that I'm not great at pronouncing things. So there you go.
Yeah, it's just too much thinking. You're overthinking. You guys are overthinking. Start taking action. See what you fall in love with, and then that's going to be the thing you want to invest more of your time in. Okay, Mark, I don't even know what this is. Is the Canon G7X II good for making YouTube?
Sure.
Yes. Great. Is it a camera? Yes.
Great.
Done.
Is it a phone? Good.
Go. Yeah, overthinking. Too much thinking. Yes. Can it
4K
record?
doesn't matter.
Great.
2K
yes.
doesn't matter. HD doesn't matter.
Look at Drager. Dude's outside in the freaking windstorm. Pays zero attention to the quality for our podcast. And we're still recording.
Let's go.
Okay, people tend to live for the society, showing off fortunes. How to live for our own happiness.
So I would take this to, like, here's the thing. We call the podcast Something to Prove, because I think we all have something to prove to those in our lives, but also the voice of doubt in your own head. I think that if you find yourself working hard but not happy, ultimately not happy, it's because you're doing it too much for the wrong reasons, and that could be for wealth, it could be for money, it could be, to show off your fortunes or to do all of those other things. Lots of people with lots of money still aren't happy at the end of the day. How do you live for your own happiness? This is going to sound like a crazy plug, but I've been running my business for 14 years, and for 13 years of those 14 years, I wasn't really that happy. Evan helped me figure a lot of this stuff out, and it was because I called him up one day and I said, hey man, I saw you interviewing someone and you were helping them figure out, who they were and, why they did what they did and how they did it. And I asked him to help me with that. And
who was that? What interview was that?
It was the guy, it was when you're doing your show at TDS in the morning.
Oh, wow.
You did an interview with someone, you broke it down and you used the example, listen, I love entrepreneurs, but I'm not going to help them move. I'm going to help them this way.
Yeah. Okay.
And I called you in February. Sorry, I called you in November. It was after Tony Robbins. It was November 2018. And you walked me through it. And then 4 months later, you wrote a book on it. And it's called Built to Serve. So I had Evan walk me through it.
Yeah.
But I remember the steps. How do you live for your own happiness? You align what you're doing with things that feed your soul, that make you happy, that get you excited, that challenge you, that force you to grow. All of those things are more important than showing off to other people.
Yeah. So basically, Mark Drager was the inspiration to write Built to Serve, is what he's saying. That phone call led
That's
to
not what
the
I'm
entire
saying.
book being written.
Know what I'm saying? All I'm saying is I heard you say it. I was like, there's something to that. You helped me, and then poof, 4 months later, a book came out of that. I must have had something to do with it.
Must have. And he's in the book, too. So that must have. Yeah, it's definitely through service. I think you're showing off your fortunes. What happens is you get a lot of accolades. You get a lot of recognition. We want the recognition. We want the status. We want people to think that we're a good person. An even better way to do it, though, is to actually go and help them instead of just showing off. That's harder. It's easy to take a picture with your car or your new suit or on the beach or whatever, and that's super quick to do. Actually figuring out your story, your pain, what you went through, being vulnerable and courageous enough to share it, and then using that to help somebody else is difficult, but is the most fulfilling thing that you can do. So sustained happiness comes through service. You want to help other people, period. Okay, let's do one more. Okay. Wait, no, hold on. Man.
Can you hear the birds in the background?
Yeah, it's like, it comes in and out. It's a crazy high-pitched noise. I think next time we got to make sure Drager's inside here.
I can go inside. I just love the birds. Don't you love the birds?
No, we don't love the birds. Maybe the audience does, though. I don't like the birds in my ear. Actually, the birds at the beginning were good. The birds at the beginning while you're walking, I'll take the birds over the quasi wind. Okay. Antoine wrote back. Okay, Antoine, that we said right back. Okay. What would you suggest is the best way to approach potential clients who are looking to create content to push their, and I went too long again, but it's okay. What would you suggest is the best way to approach potential clients who are looking to create content to push something, to push their message?
Focus on outcome. So, I've run a marketing agency, and we spent 11 years very much focused on video before content creator or anything was even a term. And we always focus on the outcome. So you are not helping someone make a video. You are helping someone get their message out. You are not helping someone, start a YouTube channel. You're helping them generate leads. You're helping them build a brand. You're helping them build a persona. You're helping them do something. If you want to approach people and get people to buy, focus on the outcome, not the medium. Don't focus on making a video. Focus on what it will do for them or the world.
But that, Nina writing in, I've never felt so unstuck. Nice. Since I asked for your help. All right. I don't know if that's just me or that's a mark and everything, but thank you for the love, Nina. I would say show them. Like, find somebody who has a mission that you agree with and that you align with, and they're creating content already. I don't want to convince somebody to make content. That's brutal. Even trying to get my friend Mark Drager to make content is like pulling what remaining hairs I have left. It's ridiculous. It's just such a giant pain in the butt. Like, don't go and try to convince somebody to say, hey, you need content, let me help you. That person is just way too far away. Don't be in the convincing business. Somebody who is already making content, but you know that you can make it better, you can help them with it, that's the person you need to talk to. So
that's good advice.
Earlier today, John Assaraf, if you know John Assaraf, was in The Secret. He's a entrepreneur, wrote a number of books. He sent me his new YouTube thumbnails. Like, he's working on, I've been pushing him on YouTube, and I want to see his message sheet out there. And he sent me his new YouTube thumbnail, and I said, that's pretty cool, but here's how to make it better. And I quickly mocked it up and made his face bigger, made the text bigger, and put in different colors and said, here, do it like this. This will work better. Now, if I had a thumbnail service, that's how I would do it. Like, show them how it's done. Make a piece of content, help them, right? You're using something that they've already done and make it better. Show them. That's why I hired Christina, because my video editor from 7 or 8 years, because she made a piece of content better than what I could do. I had a designer write in who says, hey, I want to help you do thumbnails. Great, I'd love to hire you to do my thumbnails. You have to beat what I'm doing. So I said, okay, I'll take on the challenge. Give me some thumbnails. So I gave him 5 videos that we already won on and said, hey, go beat my click-through rate on these thumbnails. It's the same challenge I gave Mark and his daughter and somebody on his team too. Give me better text.
How's our headlines doing? Are they tanking?
The first one lost. The second one's just it's taking too long. It's too close. Like it didn't win, it didn't lose. The second one is just taking too long to get to stat significance, so we'll get it. But no clear winner yet. But I said, Mark, hey, I think we're going through your Jacqueline's first. I forget the order. You give me like Jacqueline's and yours, and then no, Jacqueline, then your daughter's and yours.
And Rachel's, then Jacqueline's. Yeah.
Yeah. So I'm excited for Mark's. Mark's are at the end, so we'll see how they do. But it's like beat my thumbnails, beat them. I'm happy for anybody. Challenge out there to everybody who's watching. You think you have better copy or better design skills than what I'm doing? Awesome, beat my thumbnails, right? If you can get a better click-through rate on my videos than I'm getting, I'll hire you to do 6,000 old videos, right? Like that's how you create content. Show me that it works.
Josh on my team right now, who does all of our Instagram stuff and all of our editing, was someone who's been watching me for a year or two. He's known me for a bunch of years through the content, but he reached out to me one day and said, hey, why aren't you doing subtitles on your things? I said, it takes too long. And then he said, here's a link. And he gave me 3 clips where he subtitled it. And I said, how does that not take a really long time? He's like, I got a system. I'll do it for you. So he started doing it for me. Then he started working 1 day a week. We just moved him up to 2 days a week this morning. So, you know, he will be working for me full time shortly, probably paid employee, because he said, hey, why aren't you doing this? I can do it for you. Here you go. Let me show you.
Show that it works. Show that it works. So find someone who cares, who wants to get better at this, who you can add a lot of magic sauce to, and that the combination makes a lot of sense, and then show them what you're doing. Show them that you're good. Show them that it works. Not just say, hey, I can do this for you, because everybody's coming at them saying, hey, I can do this for you. Go do one. Go do a small version of it. Right? That's what I got. That's what Mark's got. Go check out Something Approved Podcast. Type in Mark Drager Podcast, and you'll find it. Right? Probably. Wow, I hope so.
Oh, I don't know. I guess I can Google that. I don't spend a lot of time myself.
Type in Something Approved Podcast, and hopefully you find it.
You will find it if you Google Something Approved. But we're on Apple Podcasts. We're on Google, Stitcher, all of that stuff. All
right. And final comment comes in, says, I like Mark with a buzz cut. There you go. I don't think that even qualifies as a buzz cut. That's just a shaved head.
I bicked it the other day. Like, I actually just shaved it with a razor the other day, and I didn't realize how much time that takes and how hard it is. So I've gone back to the clippers.
Thank you, Mark. Thank you, Believe Nation. Thank you, Something Approved Podcast family. We need a better name for that. We'll see you soon. Believe.
Okay.